opportunity to join us and for your service to this country. Captain Bucha.
Respect for the Marine Corps and for what they do. When I was chairman of the board of Wheeling Pittsburgh Steel, I decided we had some 600 flagpoles in the company. So I said, I want the POW MIA flag and a brand new American flag on every single flagpole that we had. And the biggest mill was in Steubenville, Ohio, hometown to Dean Martin, for those of you of my age. And that's what they were most famous for, steel and Dean Martin. And so I ordered that the flagpoles have these things. And I drove into Steubenville at 6 in the morning, and the flagpole didn't have the MIA flag up like I had asked. And I went in to see the manager. I said, for God's sakes, I'm the chairman of the board. That's all I've asked. Can't you put the flag up? He said, well, we have some guys that objected to it. I said, who? I'll talk to them. Out of the mill come 5 guys, twice my height, twice my size, hard hats on, big boots. And he said, so you're the guy that ordered these flagpoles to have the POW MIA flag up? I said, yes. He said, and you want a brand new American flag up? Yes. He says, then you be here tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock, unless that's too early for you. I said, look, I just want the flags up, please. He said, you be here. And they turned around and walked away. I had no idea. So sure enough, 7 o'clock I showed up, and the Jackets of Red showed up, and the mayor showed up, the high school band showed up, the high school glee club showed up. And one of the guys, Kowalski, who was the guy that spoke for the group, steps forward in his red jacket. He said, sir, if you're going to put a flag up in my flagpole, you do it right. And he explained to me something I didn't know, which speaks to why we're here today. He said 70% of our retirees wore the uniform of the United States. 70%. 35% of your current employees wear it now in various forms, or have worn it in the current wars. This is the first time in the 22 years he had worked for Wheeling Pittsburgh Steel that anyone ever did anything that recognized him as having done something other working in a mill. No one took the time to say thank you. And these men in red were the leaders of that movement. And for all the mills and all the flagpoles, I then had him, Kowalski, write up this memo of how to do this correctly. And I asked him up front, said, I had to teach Paul Bucha, West Point graduate, Medal of Honor recipient, how to put the flag up the right way. So we're here to celebrate what people have done in their lives other than that which we know them for each day. To the elected officials in this environment in which we find ourselves in this country today, thank you for your service, but thank you most importantly for your courage. It is not an easy time to step forward and say, allow me to be the elected representative, because there seems to be a battle of ideas throughout the world. And as a result, that battle finds no common ground for discussion. Whether it's the debate on guns in our society, whether it's the debate on wars, whether it's the debate on money, whether it's the debate on how we pay people, and some of us enter into that debate because it's important. The most important debate, and you heard Jeff talking about it, and by the way, you have to understand, I'm here, I'm flat on my back in a hospital, and he sits down next to me and he says, I'm a neurosurgeon. I want you to be here on Memorial Day. And I thought, God, you could fix me some very bad ways. I'll be here. So it's a privilege to be here, very seriously. And it has to do with time. In life, when we see people, we oftentimes say something that becomes pejorative. Today, the word to a veteran, thank you for your service, and then we rush on, has become pejorative. the soldier or the former soldier knows you don't mean it. Because if you did, you wouldn't rush off. There's an ad on television that Budweiser has that shows the troops walking into an airport. It lasts 13 seconds. Everybody claps, and in 13 seconds it says, drive and drink responsibly. Why 13 seconds? On the 14th second, everybody's reading their newspaper. Everybody's gone back to what they were doing. No one does any more than that because we're too busy. And if you think about what you have in life, money. People say, oh, I wrote a check to help the students, to Baghdad dogs. I wrote a check, $10, $15, $1 million, it doesn't matter. And we say, I feel good about it. Why? You don't know how much money you're going to have, how much money you may lose. We make a lot of money. It's not finite. It doesn't mean anything. Stuff, we accumulate stuff, so we give it away, and we feel good when we give our stuff away. But it too is not finite. You'll just get more stuff. As Willie Nelson said, as he was sitting in his lawn chair when they were taking everything he owned, someone came from the NBC and stuck a microphone in his face and says, what's it feel like to lose everything? He says, I'm not losing anything. I have my guitar, I have my health. They're just taking the stuff I have. And I'll get more stuff. And I hope someone will come take that stuff too. It's just stuff. So our money we give, the things we give, they are not our most precious resource, are not our most precious gift. Because there's only one thing we have in life that's truly finite, and unfortunately, it's more finite in almost all cases than that person or we would have it be. And that's our time. The fact that you're taking time today to let the veterans among us and the family members of veterans know you care is because that's the gift you bring today. And for these kids that are coming home, who have gone to a land they could not find on a map, whose language they could not speak, and whose culture they did not understand, and they went there because we asked them to go. And they kept going and going and going, while we did whatever it was we were doing. Now they're coming back to a country they know its location on a map. They speak the language and they understand the culture. And thank you for your service just doesn't cut it. You have to ask them how they're doing. You might be surprised in an airport. One of them says, ma'am, sir, I've never been in an airport before. Where do I go from here? You might find someone that says, I'm in the wrong city. How do I get to the right city? You might find that you are the only person that can lend that helping hand at a moment of need to a person who gave of himself or herself more than any of us will ever understand, because we asked them to do so. So today, thank you for your time. And when you go home and you go to other places, take the time to just see the people. How are you? And if you find someone who's worn the uniform, take a little more time and say thank you for all you've given us and all you've made possible. Where are you from? Are you married? Do you have kids? How's it going? You might be surprised when they empty their heart to you. And how do I know this works? Two boys, 1 8, 1 10, from Newburgh, New York, went with their father where they collect military toys to a junk shop, looking for G.I. Joe dolls and things. And they saw 2 medals, a Bronze Star and a Purple Heart in a box with no name or anything. And they said to their dad, "Dad, can we buy it? Can we take this? We'll find who it belongs to." 8 and 10. The manager of the store was listening. The father said, "What do you want from me?" He said, $400. And the kids were pushing their dad. And the eldest said, "Dad, I promise you, we'll get them to the owner." The shop owner said, "Then take them. Take them for free." It turned out the Bronze Star and the Purple Heart belonged to a World War II Medal of Honor recipient who was a Cherokee Indian. And his possessions after his death had been split among the family members. Half of his ancestors had gone to Oklahoma, and the other half remained in North Carolina. They raised the money for plane tickets to go to North Carolina to see if they would take the 2 medals. It's a Cherokee tribe. The 2 kids. And one of the elders of the tribe said, "No, his most direct descendant is in Oklahoma." They went home and raised the money to go to Oklahoma. And they gave them the medals. They became honorary citizens and members of the tribe. And they showed all of us and every member of their community what someone can do if you're willing to take the time. They literally presented medals to the ancestors of a Medal of Honor recipient who had been forgotten by his tribe. The kids, all of these kids, they taught the adults, every one of whom they came in touch with, that all you have to do is care. So thank you for caring, and thank you for being here, and more importantly, thank you for each and every one of you who has worn the uniform of this country and served with the proud men and women who wore it with you. Thank you for not forgetting. God bless you all.
Amen.